Collecting. It's kind of a weird hobby. It's not like model cars or basket weaving or playing baseball. It's essentially just shopping. Depending on what part of the hobby or what you like to collect, it can be really, really expensive. I've made a lot of mistakes this year. I have burned thousands of dollars, I would say, and not being able to grow a collection that I would be as proud of if I had made smarter choices. So we are together going to embark now on our smart collecting strategy. Avoid the pitfalls and start making better decisions. Here is my first recommendation. Stop ripping packs. You might say, hey, but ripping packs, that's where the fun is. That's where the excitement of the chase. Yeah, that's great. It just comes at a pretty significant cost. And you know, some of my favorite memories is opening packs and hitting something big with my children, my sons. We have opened, base set Charizards.
And this one is, oh my god, no way. No way.
What the heck?
No way.
Like core memory that I would trade for anything. And it's kind of priceless, right? But once you get a string of losses, this starts to feel really, really bad. Because let's face it, opening packs is gambling. This is a gambling hobby shrouded in this sort of nice packaging and pretty artwork. And every pack you open, it's like a spin at the slot machine. And you spin enough times, you're going to hit something. You're going to get a jackpot, but will it have made up for the cost of getting there? Well, lucky for you, I've done the numbers. I've crunched the numbers. Like say you wanted to buy a case of Destined Rivals and a case of Surging Sparks. What is that end-to-end cost going to be to open that? Now, I have offset. Personally, I have taken cards out, pulled chase cards, had them graded, had them come back as a 10. And you know how often that happens? Almost never. Almost never. So, on average, this is what we're looking at. For Destined Rivals, a case cost right now is about $2,100, about $350 a box. Looking at the pull rates, these are tested pull rates from TCG Player. Now, another thing, I went ahead and pulled the pop reports from PSA to understand the gem rates, the average gem rate. And I did this across every card and then aggregated that to the rarity. Here's what I've done. I've applied the pull rate and the gem rate so you understand on average what you're going to pull and what out of what you will pull, what percentage will typically get a gem 10. So this is looking at if you were just open one case. And a special illustration rate is really low. You're getting 2 per case. So you have to open 6 boxes to get 2 on average, maybe 3 if you're lucky. But you have 11 special illustration rares in this set. So how many on average would you have to pull? You'd have to pull at least 4. You have to open 4 cases to get a Team Rocket's Mewtwo on average. So you're not getting that lucky. You're just not. So if we break it all down and you include the grading fees as well, this all nets to your total value of about $1,304 in collecting value for buying a $2,100 case of Destined Rivals. You're looking at a 38% loss or $800 loss on average. You could get lucky, but you won't. Surging Sparks, similar story. All of it down, you're spending $1,500. You are getting about $900 to $1,000 in value on average, looking at the pull rates, looking at the gem rates, taking into account your grading fees, losing $550 or about 36%. So, is opening worth it? It's up to you. If the cost is worth it to have that, what is it all about? It's about having fun with your family and friends, right? Wrong. It's not. I mean, it is. But in terms of collecting value and what if you're trying to grow your collection efficiency and not waste money, you gotta stop ripping packs. Okay, point number 2. Buy singles that you care about or the ones that you think are going to have the most potential for growth. You're going to be better off spending every dollar toward the card that you are looking to acquire. And it could also be the graded cards too. It's really up to you. It's how exactly you want to go about your collection building. That's what's great about it. You're not at the whims of randomness. Go and buy the cards that you care about. Here's a really good example. I am looking for the Machamp V from the Astral Radiance set. I was at a local collectible store recently with my son. They happened to have some Astral Radiance packs. They had 11 packs. We spent $94. And in my mind, I go, yeah, I mean, Machamp V, it's not one of the top chase cards. It's got to be somewhat, attainable. So we brought him home, opened 11 packs. We got a couple trainer galleries in there. Total value was about like 20 something dollars versus the $94 that we spent. If you go and look at a Machamp V right now raw, it's about $150. And this is where it gets really crazy. I went and looked at the pull rates for this Machamp V. It took 1,234 packs. At $8 a piece, you're looking at spending $9,800 plus dollars, $10,000 to try and pull this card. I want that Machamp V. Am I going to spend $10,000? I just might. I might mortgage my house to start pulling this Machamp V. Or I could just buy the single that I'm looking for and stop wasting money. So stop ripping packs, buy the singles you care about. Another thing I've learned, don't buy in a hype wave. What's my point about this? 2025 was insane. Probably the craziest Pokemon year on record. Scalpers. People fighting in Sam's Club and Costco, where it felt like if you see anything with the Pokemon label on it, you just felt obligated to buy it. You want to be able to make good decisions that aren't based on FOMO. That means if you're not really particularly interested in a set, don't buy it just because it's out there or available or you have a chance to. And then also when it comes to singles, when cards go up in value very quickly, they often will also fall very quickly. When you're buying based on the frenzy, you're a lot of chances you could be stuck holding the bag. So now you have this card on your shelf that you don't even care about, and now it's worth half as much as what you paid for it. So the way I like to try and understand this is if you can separate yourself from the market as much as possible, make your collection yours. It's your choice, not everyone else's, right? You pick the items that you think are best for you. That's just my suggestion. Number 4 for your smart collecting strategy is to buy sealed in 3s. You have 1 for your collection, 1 as an investment, keep long term, and then 1 for just fun. And that could be either reselling quickly if you want to, if just having more flexibility with 1 that you can get rid of. If you only have 1 and that's part of your collection, it's hard to get rid of if you want to turn a profit on that eventually. Now, if you happen to be in a store and there's only 3 left on the shelf and there's a young child next to you wanting one of them, the best thing to do is to sweep the leg, trip the kid, grab all 3, and run out laughing. My last point in this long-winded video is to grade quality singles. Now, I know I've been talking about low-risk strategies, and when it comes to grading, there is an element of risk involved. You do have to pay fees, and there's no guarantee that you're going to get the grade that you like. This one, though, I think is something you can learn and be very smart about how you choose the cards that you want to grade, and you can have tremendous results and see your value increase. It's so worth it to grade cards. And you learn what makes sense of what is really the rules around grading of what's going to potentially fetch a 10 are pretty easy to learn. Once you've done it a few times, you start to realize what centering needs to look like. Even like tiny little white chips or on the very ends of corners sometimes don't affect your grade of a 10. And buying online is hard to really see the condition and see that they're gradable. But if you're willing to spend the time, and if you're out in your local card shops and you see they have something that's right there on the edge, sometimes it's really worth it to just take a chance on that card and seeing what you get. Once you're able to learn those things and you start getting the hang of it, your shelf is going to be slap full with PSA slabs out of 10, and the value you'll see in your collection skyrocket. So let's review. As long as you're not ripping packs, buying the singles that you care about, not giving into hype wave or FOMO, collecting sealed wisely, and grading quality singles, you're not wasting money. That's efficient collecting. I hope this has helped. I hope that even though the draw and the power of wanting to know what's in those packs is strong, that you can avoid ripping packs as much as possible. It's fun, but you have to do it sparingly unless you just have tons of money you want to blow. But if you're like me, you're on a budget, you want to be able to see your value grow and not feel bad. It feels bad, man, when you're ripping packs and you don't get anything. So that's my advice to you. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's my first longer form video with some editing. If you liked what you saw, please give me a like and subscribe. But that's it for me. Thanks again.